I'm a OG boy. Know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my seat, boy. Know that they ride or die.
Hello and welcome to another video. Now today we are going to be looking at the current Newcastle squad, including some of those loan players we have. And what we're going to do is we're going to look if we keep them, do we loan them out, or do we sell them? But first, before we get started in today's video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Now I know our Transfer Tuesday videos are doing very, very well. So if you haven't seen that one, head over there to check that one out. Alright then, so let's get into today's video. Let's have a look at the current Newcastle United squad. So here it is. We have the Newcastle United squad and we have our keep section, loan and sell. Now I think we're going to start with the goalkeepers. Now at the bottom here we've got Dan Langley. He's made some appearances for the youth team. He's still pretty young, so I think I'm going to put him in the loan section. I think if you've got some more experience, got some first team experience, maybe in the championship level, keep him going for now. But yeah, we're going to put him in the loan section. Now another one that we have is Carl Darlow. Now for me, Carl Darlow has, he's a really, really good goalkeeper. But to be honest, he's probably not the level that Newcastle are looking for moving forward. I think he would do a really good job at a championship level team, or maybe even a lower level Premier League team. So for me, for Carl Darlow, we're going to put him in the sell. Now the others that we have Martin Dubravka. Now for me, Martin has done, he's done really, really well, hasn't he? But for me, I'm going to keep him because I think we're going to put him down as a second choice. Because for me, I think if we get Dean Henderson in, he will be the number one choice. And having Dubravka as a backup is going to be incredible. And I think that if we have, Gillespie, we'll put him in keep. We'll have him as the third choice. And that is our keepers done. So we have a few more players down here. So let's have a look at some of the nailed on players. The players that we're just not going to get rid of. And the first one is going to be Bruno. So we got Bruno back in January and he has been immense ever since he has come into the team. So yep, he is a nailed on starter. Who else can we put for the first team squad? So I think the next one is going to be Kieran Trippier. I don't think anyone's going to disagree with me with that one. Kieran Trippier, easy. Put him straight into the squad. You can show his leadership has been incredible since he came into the team, and he's going to kick on next season, hopefully injury free. Now some of the other players who are going to be nailed on starting is going to be Alan St. Maximum. Now I know a lot of the fans, have been a bit frustrated with him in recent games, but for his statistics, he has been at the forefront, even across Europe. With his dribbling and running through. I feel like next season we're going to see a different St. Maximum, especially if we get some very good players, brought in the summer transfer market. I think that will really improve his game. Alright, so the next one we're going to look at is Sean Longstaff. Now I know that he has been given a new deal. It's been rumoured, the 3 years plus 1 year extension. So for me, I'm not sure about it. I think for me, what I would do for Sean Longstaff would be to sell him. I know he's a local lad, but I think with the quality that we could bring in, if we bring in Paqueta to, partner up with Joe Linton and Bruno in the middle of the park, he could be, a second choice if one of them gets injured, but I don't think he's probably the quality that we are going to need moving forward. Maybe he could be in a following, in a couple of seasons. We've had that with a lot of the players that we've either sold and they've ended up being really, really good. You look at Ivan Toney, you look at Tavernier. I don't know about this one. This one I'm kind of on the fence with. Do we cash him out? I know that Everton were rumoured, with him last year, around 30 million for him. Do we loan him out? No, I don't think we're going to loan him out. but could he be a second choice midfielder if someone got injured? Do you know what? Just based on that, we're going to keep him. But I don't know if I would be willing to give him a new contract, which is around 3, maybe 4-year deal. I'm not sure about that one. All right, the next player we're going to look at is Fraser. Now, he has done a very good job, actually. He works his socks off every time he's on the pitch. He does a job. Will he get into this new Newcastle team? I'm not sure he will, I think for Fraser, what we have to do is kind of sell him, don't we? Any money we can recoup off him. Yeah, I think we're going to have to sell him, aren't we? I think if we can get any money for him, that'll push us into spending some more money for other players. Now, the other one that we have is Paul Domitz. Now, he has just been given a 1-year contract extension. For me, it's just one of those that he's been a loyal servant to the club, but for me, I don't think he is of the quality that we're going to need moving forward on that left-back position. I mean, just look at some of the games that he's played. Whenever he plays, I'm always on the edge of my seat, like, oh no, what is he going to do next? I feel like he's very, he makes a lot of mistakes, and I just don't think he is going to be of the level of quality that we are going to look for. But I know we've given him a 1-year contract, so he's going to have to stay now, isn't he? So we'll put him in that keep column. Now the next one is Almiron. Now another one who we're all frustrated with whenever he plays up front. I remember the last game of the season, there were a couple of balls that he could have just flung through straight to Callum Wilson, but either his passing is just too weak or his shooting ability is just too weak as well. You look at him, bombing down the sidelines, and then next minute, just the final ball, it's like he's run out of energy. He's run down the whole line. He's beaten 1 or 2 players, and then now it's time to hit the ball, hit the target, and it's like he's just like hitting it with a feather. I don't really know what's going on with him. So for me, Almiron, I'm sorry to say, but I think I'm going to have to put you on the transfer market. See if anyone else will take a nibble, take Almiron. He's a decent player, but for me, just lacking that final quality. Now, the next one is Matt Targett. Matt Targett was on loan. Now, his loan deal has ended. Are we going to take him on a permanent? Now, I know he has been rumoured, to come on at 15 million. I think that's a good buy, to be honest. You look at his performances for the end of the season. He's come in January and he's done amazingly well in the defensive positions. Whenever he plays, he's going to put a shift in. He's going to do the right thing when he's on the ball. Now, for me, I would love to keep him. Whether we do or not, we'll see. I know we're rumoured for, is it Lodi? How do you even say that? Lodi from Atletico Madrid as the left back position. Either him or Matt Targett, I will be very happy with. Now, the next one we're going to look at is Matt Ritchie. Matt Ritchie. Now, again, he has been a very loyal servant to Newcastle United, and now I think, it's time to say goodbye, unfortunately. I think, for Matt Ritchie, he's done a very good, he's made good performances for Newcastle. He has that determination, he has that energy, and it really brings the team forward. You can see how loyal he is to the Newcastle United squad, and he always puts in maximum amount of effort whenever he's on the pitch. Now, I think he will do very well for another, probably a lower Premier League team. I've heard he's in talks with Bournemouth, so you never know. So for Matt Ritchie, I'm sorry to say, you are on the sell list. Now, who else have we got? Let's have a look at Jonjo Shelvey. Now, again, Jonjo Shelvey has done really, really well this season. I think as soon as, Eddie Howe has come in, he's transformed Jonjo Shelvey. He's got a bit of energy to him now. He's moving about. He's passing those balls again, just like he used to. Is he going to get into the team next season, though? We have a lot of players, in that midfield now. You look at Bruno, we've got Sean Longstaff, we've got Joe Willock, Joel Linton. There's so many players who could be in that middle now. And you look at him and you think, Is he going to get in it? We've got Isaac Hayden as well. Is he going to get in? Murphy. For me, do you know what? I'm going to keep John Joe Shelvey. I think he does a job in the middle. He's quite reliable whenever he comes on the pitch. He's going to put a shift in. Do you know what? I think he'll be good on the bench. I don't think he's a starter. But you know what? We're going to keep him. Maybe he can play in a couple of cup games and, he might pull some good performances out. Now the next one is going to be Newcastle United Player of the Season, and it is Joe Linton. Transformed under Eddie Howe. What an incredible season he has had. If we look back at last year, he was playing as a centre forward. He's not a target man, is he really? He's not someone who plays on his own as a target man who plays on his own. Since Eddie Howe's come in, put him into the midfield, next to other players around him, he can bounce off them. He is one of those box-to-box midfielders, ball-winning midfielders, and I think he is 100% keep. Now the next one we're going to look at is Joe Willock. Now Joe Willock, he came in beginning of last season. We got him from Arsenal after that impressive season he had with us. And you know what? He's done all right. When Bruno couldn't even get into the team, and we had Shelvey and we had Joe Linton and Joe Willock, the three Joes. They were playing so well before Bruno came in, or when Bruno came in, that he couldn't even get into the squad. So you know what? I think Joe Willock, he's still young. He still has room to improve, and for sure he is going to be on the keep list. Now we have a few more left. Let's have a look at these now. I think looking at some of the pictures of these, we're going to fill up some of our sell lists, unfortunately. Now let's have a look at some of these. So I've got Javi Mankio. Do you know what? I really do like this lad. He really does play really well whenever he comes on for Newcastle United. In defensive, he's very versatile. He moves around. He does a job. Do I think he's going to be good as another backup? I think so. I think for him, he's going to be a really good backup option for us in defence. So you know what? I'm going to keep him. Next one, Jamal Lewis. Where is Jamal Lewis? Since he's come in, he's played not that many games, has he? He's always injured. I don't know what's wrong with him. I mean, he's a young lad. He came in on some, high popularity. He came in with something about him. But we just haven't seen him. Where is he? For that reason, I just don't know. Can you see him in the Newcastle squad next season, beating out some of the players that we have right now to get into the first team squad? I don't think so. Do you know what? I think for Jamal Lewis, I think he needs to find another club, start again, rebuild his career, get his foot on the pitch, play a few more games, get some game time. Do you know what? I think I wish him well. But for me, yeah, I'm going to have to put him on the sell list. He hasn't really performed for Newcastle, and I just don't think he will in the future either. The next one, the captain, Jamal Lascelles. What can I say about Jamal Lascelles? I mean, I think, do you know what? Before Eddie Howe came in, Jamal Lascelles was the problem in the Newcastle United defence. And even when Eddie Howe came in, he was still in the team and he was still playing. We got a few draws and a few losses. And as soon as he came out, we started winning again, didn't we, really? For me, I don't think Jamal Lascelles is, a Premier League quality defender. He plays at centre-back. I don't know why he was given the captain's armband. But for me, Jamal Lascelles he's a decent player. He's a good lad. He's a decent player. But at the level that we are at now, and the level in the league that we finished this year, and if we want to progress on that, I don't think that Jamal Lascelles is going to be the one to bring us there. Do I think he will do an amazing job in the Championship? Of course I do, 100%. So, you know what? For that reason, I'm going to put him on the sell list. And again, it's the same with Jacob Murphy as well. He's one of those players that kind of comes in as a substitute for most games. He's not really a starter. And even when he comes on, he does the odd bit here and there. But for me, again, I don't think he's one of those that will make that much of an impact in the Newcastle United team. I think, for me, could we use him as a backup though? Could we use him as a backup? Yeah, go on then. We'll put him as a backup. We'll keep him in the squad. He could be used in a couple of cup games when we're resting some players. Yeah, alright. The next one is Isaac Hayden. He's kind of similar, isn't he, to Jacob Murphy. They do the same or similar kind of role, don't they? But, Hayden's been injured quite a lot this year, and I think he's looking to get his career back on track again. Just get some more game time out of him. When you look at a player like that and you think of his quality and what he could do on a pitch, you just don't really hear or see anything of him, really. Or he doesn't add anything of value to the team, I don't think. So for me, Isaac Hayden, can we get some money for him? Can he, get started again at a different team? I think he probably could, yeah. So I think we're going to sell Isaac Hayden. Federico Fernandez. He's another one, isn't it? It is another one. One of those defenders. He's been a loyal servant to the club. He's done really well with us. When I look at all of these players now, I just think about where we could be and what, the next progression and the next stage where we're going with the Newcastle United squad. And I don't think that he's one of those players which I look at him and think, yeah, do you know what? Yes, he is going to be in the team. I want him in the team. I want him around. And that sounds kind of harsh, doesn't it? But, he's a good player, and I think he could do a good job somewhere else. And I just don't think that Newcastle is that team. So, for me, I think I'm going to have to put him on the sell list. You look at the loans. We've hardly got any loans, have we? I don't think there's any players that we could even loan out, because to be honest, you'd rather just sell them and get them off the wage list, to be honest. You look at the players that we have, there's no one to sell. Oh, no one to loan, sorry. No one to loan. I mean, we have Matty. Matty Longstaff. I'd probably put him out on loan again, to be honest. He wasn't on the squad list, actually. But yeah, if Matty Longstaff comes back, I would definitely probably loan him out again. Do you know what? Who I don't have on here is Elliot Anderson. That is one of the players that I'm really looking forward to watching next season, actually. I'm surprised I don't see him on this list, actually. So yeah, Elliot Anderson is one of the players that I'm really, really looking forward to watching next season. I hope he does get some first team time next season. All right, let's have a look back to this. So the next one we're going to look at is Shah. Now, he has done really, really well. When he partners with Dan Burn, you look at those back four, you look at Trippier, you look at Shah, you look at Dan Burn, you looked at Matt Targett, at the back. For me, it's one of those times where I don't feel scared about the back four. And when you look at a Newcastle team, you think, oh, this player's going to do this, or this player's going to make this mistake, or just watch out for that lad because he's always making mistakes. Right now, that back four I just mentioned, I don't feel scared. I feel like, do you know what? If a player comes through, someone can probably do something about it. And he is part of that. Now, I do think that we've got to keep him. We really do have to keep him. Do we think we can get some more replacements in our defensive line? Can we get some different players in, some more experienced players at top level? Yeah, for sure. I'm for sure we can. And I think that, Shah is another option at the back who could play and do a job for us. Now, the next one is Emil Craft. Again, Emil Craft at the back. He could be part of that four that I just mentioned, actually. Emil Craft, he's done a really good job, at the back. He's not one of these expansive players that runs up and down the line, like Kieran Trippier. But to be honest, he's, the team needs one of those players every now and then just to, comes in, does his job, and that's all you need from him. He gets in there, he does what he's told to do, and he does it well. So for that reason, do you know what? I'm going to keep him. But, at the beginning of the season, he was one of those players I was just like, oh no, why is he playing? But, recently he's won me over. One I'm surprised about, actually. Yeah, Emil Craft has won me over. Alright, so let's have a look at the next one is Dwight Gail. Do you know what? Dwight Gail I really do feel sorry for. Because he's one of these lads that I feel like he has so much potential. But does he have potential in a Premier League team? I don't know. But when you looked at him in the Championship, he was incredible. He was on fire, wasn't he? He was just when he was in the Championship with Newcastle United, he was banging those goals in. And he's just one of those players that you just love to have in the team. But whenever he makes that next step to the Premier League, he just hasn't been able to really impose himself. He's a short lad. He can run. But he's just not in those positions, just like Callum Wilson is. He can't figure himself out a lot. So for me, I think he would be amazing taking that step down, going back to the Championship. Do you know what? If he goes to the Championship next season, I swear he will be probably in the top 5 goal scorers in the Championship next season. So for that reason, we are going to sell him. Now the next one, again, part of that defensive line I was talking about before, was Dan Burn. It's kind of easy, this one, isn't it? Dan Burn, he is going straight into the keep. Incredible since he came in. Again, feeling big, tall lad, winning those aerial duels. I do wish, if he'd score a few more goals at the other end, though. Just a tall lad. When we have all these corners, I would like him to add a few more goals into his game next season. So, we'll see. Now, the next one we're going to have is Chris Wood. Now, do you know what? Chris Wood, he's one of those frustrating players. If you ever heard this line, it's Chris Wood, he's got the ball. Oh, wait, he's offside. Yes, that is right. That is something you have been hearing for half of the season with Chris Wood. I'm sorry. If it was up to me, I would get rid of him straight away. It was a good buy from Burnley to weaken them. I know we were in that very difficult position when Eddie Howe came in, and back in January, we were looking to weaken some of the squads around us, give us a bit of an advantage. We did that with Chris Wood. We staved away from, from the relegation zone, relegated Burnley, so it kind of worked. But for me, I just don't rate him. I don't think he can hit a barn door, this lad. Maybe he might surprise me next season. I don't know, because I think we're going to have to keep him anyway because of the contract he's on. He's only just signed in January. I don't think anyone's going to pick him up. But, if any offers did come in, I would listen to them, and I would just recoup any of that 25 million we had, because he is not a £25 million player. Now the next we have is Kieran Clark. I missed him. Kieran Clark. Now for me, Kieran Clark wasn't included in the second half of the season. Do I think he's going to do a job next season? Probably not for Newcastle, but maybe for someone else. I think he's a good defensive player. I think he could add a bit about him to other clubs. So yeah, we're going to put him in the sell list. He's not bad. He's all right, isn't he? But just not for Newcastle and the quality that we're looking for moving forward, I think. And the last one, the mighty Callum Wilson. Of course, we're going to keep Callum Wilson. Now, I just hope for next season he really keeps himself fit, because as soon as he came back, he scored a few goals now. And I just think that, if he had a full season with the service that he's probably getting from the new Newcastle United players that we have now, he's going to be knocking them in every bloody week. So for me, Callum Wilson, keep him fit, get him on the pitch, and let's start scoring some more goals. Now you can see we have all of our squad here. We have a few sells, a few in the sell list. We only got the one on the loan, but a lot we're keeping. I think we're keeping some of the good quality players here, and I think during the summer we really need to add some more quality players. Now for some transfer speculation, don't forget on Transfer Tuesdays on the channel, we can have a look at all of the players linked with Newcastle United. Now what do you think of my team here? Do you agree with some of the people in the sell list, people in the keep list? Now let me know what you think down in the comments. But for now, that's it. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you all in the next video.